Hey guys, how's it going? This is Colin here, and today I'm doing something a little bit different. This is a game that Oscar and Joey had played. They had streamed it here on the channel. They're hopefully going to get into that more consistently, streaming games on the channel, so keep an eye out for that if you like that type of stuff. But I thought I wasn't there when they played the game or anything like that, so I'll go through and see how their game went, sort of give my thoughts as we go along and see how this goes. So obviously they're just getting set up here, so we'll see how long that takes. Hopefully not too long. And yeah, let us know if you guys like this, if you prefer just me talking about it, or if you'd rather Joey or Oscar, for example, be on here talking about it since they were there playing it, or if you just want that third-party perspective for future games that have the voiceover here, commentary. We'll have another commentary video, I think, later this week, possibly. Yeah, because we have a Oscar and I did sort of an interesting game, so that'll have some commentary. But so we got. I'm actually not sure who I'm spectating. I think it's Joey. Yeah, it's Joey spectating, or I'm spectating Joey, and so he's running. I missed what the ruler was, but obviously we'll find out soon enough. But they're just figuring stuff out. Winds of Salvation, Rune Story, which I really like. He runs a bunch of those. Phase Shift, interesting. Joey's a really big advocate of null page. I see he has 3 of those in there. He got really into that for a while and was super bummed out when people stopped playing it after Sherry was banned, so I think he's just trying to prove that it's still a good card. So we'll see if he's right or not, at least in this specific scenario in this game. Golly, hopefully it doesn't take him too long to get ready here. There we go. Oh no, you saw our password. Shh, don't worry about it. Okay, so is Joy playing Chamimi, it looks like? I just noticed that there's a Mimi tribe member in there, so I assume Joy's playing Chamimi. Oscar's probably playing Lucifer or some variant of that. He's sort of on a binge of that. I do need to edit this layout for Lackey. It looks kind of wonky now. Oh boy, and Joey's probably talking a lot. This is why it's taking so long for the game to start. Is Joey tends to talk quite a while. Okay, so we're starting the game. Okay, so Oscar's playing IU, it looks like, and then, like I said, Joey's playing Chamimi. So we'll see how this goes. I tend to do pretty good against Oscar's IU most of the time when I'm playing Panda. I haven't played too many other decks against his IU, so I'd be curious to see how he plays against other things. Joey rolled an 8, and Oscar rolled a 6, so Joey will be going first. Interesting hand there. He's got his Rune Story. He's got so he's just going to get rid of the one Karuga? Oh, and a 7 Disciple and the Lumera Mimi Tribe card. Oh, Joey does the pleb way of drawing cards. That's good to know. Oh, and he runs Jupiter. Interesting. I really like Jupiter. I'm really sad that he fell off of play a little bit. Not that he was being played too much, but I'm going to try and see if I can't incorporate him in some fashion in the future, because I just really like him. He grabbed a Speaking Stone, which is just a really great card in this current format, especially, and now he can use it to pay for Rune Story. I assume he mostly has green stones in that and stuff like that. Oh, Oscar turn 1 Possession Stone. Doesn't get much better than that, for Oscar at least. But Joey's got, like I said, his Jupiter won't come in handy too much, but that Rune Story might come in handy, and the 7 Disciples would be good for blocking. Null Page, I don't think that would be very useful against IU. Oh, and he put out a Ray the Black Owl, so if that sticks on the field, then Joey's going to have a bad time. Another Speaking Stone, nice. That's the ideal scenario, because they produce green anyways. I assume the rest of his cards are mono green of some sort. Oh, and yeah, he's going to play Rune Story in order to banish that Ray Owl before it flips. Or he's not. He's going to play a... I don't know what's happening. Maybe he just forgot to put... So just putting that out. I assume he's playing the Rune Story, though. I didn't get a chance to see what his side what his rune deck was before he flipped those over. Oh, there we go. Got Shuriken, Force Meditation, or whatever that's called. But Rune Story. So Owl's gone. So that's pretty good. Cost wise, it's a trade for trade. But if that Owl flips, then Joey's gonna have a hard time. But 2 Possession Stone. Now that's Oscar. If you lose this one, then I have no faith in you. You have 2 Possession Stones. You got nothing to complain about at this point in time. See, Joey's got Winds of Vitality. I was trying to remember what that card was. That's the buffing +6/+6. The second from the left card, and then Null Page, which is probably going to be useless in this game. But, well, actually, it's 100% useless. Now that I was just thinking as far as stuff being on the field, but it's useless in the sense that IU doesn't have other cards. So Null Page removes a Resonator from the game or what have you, and then opponent can't play anything of that same name as long as Null Page is on the field. But IU only runs 1 copy of every card, so Null Page is completely useless. Spirit Stone, obviously, because he's going to play Lorite 7 Disciples. So without Lorite on the field, he'll just get 1 of those abilities per turn. He'll probably give it Swiftness right now so he can swing in, and then coming into his turn next time, he'll give it Drain or Flying, depending on what Oscar is able to play. But Oscar's going to IU Sword Strike it, gets rid of the top 5 cards of his deck, and we'll basically just straight up destroy it. It's a decent cards, I guess, to flip out. And he lost 1 soul, I think. Oh, nice. And he's on his Magic Stone in time because Oscar runs, I think, 2 cards that use. We saw 1 already go in the graveyard, but if he has the other one, that could come in handy. Oscar, what are you doing? Why aren't you winning? You should be winning, Oscar. I don't know what he's checking. Maybe they accidentally did something. No. Okay, so he's just coming into his turn. Spirit Stone obviously is really great. Oh, and then obviously Magic Stone Tranquility. So, well, not obviously. Does he run a Ninja in there, or is he just running that for the lulz? I don't know. But he's got a Lorite and a Ferris spell, so he can Lorite IU's abilities if needed. And if Oscar attempts to Lorite or Ferris spell him, then he can Ferris spell in return. So it looks like he's passing turn. All of his stuff, for the most part, is quick cast and countering stuff. So that might have been the stone Oscar was waiting for. But so he can basically just control Oscar's turn, hopefully, here. Unless it's Look Corruption, then there's not a whole lot he can do. Because, yeah, it doesn't target. So he can't use that cancel spell to stop it. So Oscar probably will grab Lorite. I think is probably the best bet here. Yeah, that's what I would do, personally. If I were, too bad. If he had awakened it, he could have grabbed Jupiter as well. Not that that's super helpful, but it would have been nice. Hopefully, if he doesn't play anything, though, this turn, and he just had 3 floating will and didn't awaken that Look of Corruption, I'll be super sad. Oh. What is he going to stop with? What is he afraid that he's going to use with Ferris spell? Oh, okay. He had Glint of Insight as well. Okay, so he's probably going to get rid of Lorite with Glint of Insight. And by Lorite, I mean Jupiter. Maybe I'm just bad at IU. Maybe I don't understand what counters IU. Jupiter bounces and cancels a spell, but it doesn't do anything to the ruler itself, but except maybe block. It could swing into it, I suppose. Alright, so going into Joey's turn. I think he's thinking of playing one of his runes before recovery, maybe? Force Meditation. Oh, okay. Or maybe not before recovery, but he's just trying to figure out what to do this turn, I guess. I still haven't seen a ninja either, so I'm thinking that's for the lulz. Because I'm pretty sure it's all Mimi tribes in there. Also, this is what's like playing with Joey, in case you guys are wondering. You guys are like, oh, he must be thinking of something crazy to do. It's like, no, this is just a normal turn for Joey. He's probably just thinking of like, well, it costs 2 will to play this card. 1 + 1 is 2, but 1 × 1 is 1. Why does that equal 1? And doing this whole thought process. So he's going to hard cast Lorite. Or by hard cast, I mean he's not going to cancel anything with Lorite. He's going to play it. And then he's gonna buff Lorite +6/+6. Oh, before recovery. I guess. No, that's terrible. No, I think that's terrible. And yeah, you'll chunk some health out of her, but Lorite's really good against IU. It stops her enter, it can stop her God's Art. If you're playing against Oscar, you know, he runs a couple other resonators that have pretty decent effects that can be cancelled. And he just uses his buffer. Why? So he's going to tap 2, he's going to do the whole thing where he floats 2 will. Going to put those both in the graveyard, but he's just going to set them aside because he's going to use that 2 floating will to play Force Meditation, which you choose up to 2, put 2, and one of those options is to put 2 target magic stones from your graveyard into the field, or draw a card. So he's going to banish those 2 spirit magic stones to draw 2 cards, and then he's going to use the floating will from them to play Force Meditation and draw a card off of it. Or put a resonator from his graveyard into a hand, and then put those stones back into his field recovered. He drew 2 cards. What's his second effect? Is he grabbing from the graveyard, or is he drawing a card? He's grabbing from the graveyard. Okay, he's grabbing. Okay, so at least it wasn't okay. All right, Joe. I take it back. It wasn't that bad of a play, just because you're gonna grab Disciples and play that out. I still disagree with it, but at least it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So I'll give you that. He'll probably keep that 2 will open in order to play cancels on his on Oscar's turn. Oscar is going to Erendite the Nitrogen Blade to stop Lorite when it enters the field. Its enter effect of gaining all those, so it doesn't gain swiftness or anything. And he doesn't have Fair Spell anymore. He could attempt to Rune Story it just to get him to tap out that will, but that wouldn't do anything at all, really. And doesn't look like he can really do much else, so yeah. So Lord 7 Disciples are just going to sit there and look pretty. So Joey will get 7 damage this turn, and then pass turn. He's probably questioning something. Okay. He's trying to think if he can do that redirection or something like that, but he can't. And he looks, he's like, he's got open will. I can't know or Rune Story. So 7 damage, the first damage of the game. What is he doing? Why is he looking at 7 Disciples? I don't know. Oh, Joey. Oh, Joey. Come on. Just pass turn. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so Oscar's finally judgmenting. Thank you. He's got his 2 possession stones open, and he's got to flip that light stone eventually. He'll probably remember in like 6 turns that he was supposed to flip that when he judgmented. Just like in real life, he's going to discard a soul to give it flying. And whatever, I forget what Skillful Samurai gives him, precision or something like that probably. So that means he has some way to give it swift. Or no, I'm sorry, I'm stupid. He searched his deck for a soul when it entered the field. I don't know why I thought he was discarding. It's a little bit harder when you're watching Lackey, and he collapsed that chat at the very bottom really small. So I'm having trouble. Usually I could read that and see what they're doing, but oh well. So going into Joey's turn, he'll draw a card. He'll draw a card. Oh, there's a ninja. So this is the one that's quick cast and enters produce any will and play that to play chance. Or use it to play chance. So pretty okay. Technically it'll come out to 1 cost if you actually utilize that will production. So you can get pretty decent value out of it. And in the monocolor format, the double green isn't a big deal. So he's gonna call stone. Oh, he still had it revealed to Oscar, I think. So he has a couple options. I mean, he technically could judgment. I don't know if he wants to. He could play Kaguya or save it up for on Joey's or Oscar's turn for when Oscar swings in. Oh, looks like maybe they're in a little bit of dispute. Oscar's maybe trying to Loride 7 Disciples ability when it comes into his turn of getting all those, which would be kind of late because he already drew for turn and stuff like that. So I don't know what that Loride is doing. Unless he was just playing it just to play it. Maybe. We'll find out if he swings with 7 Disciples, if they had a gentleman's agreement or not. And Joey has no buffing mechanism right now as well, so that 7 Disciples, even if it did swing in, he could just block with IU and kill it. Alright, so he calls another Speaking Stone. Nice, nice. I'd like to think that during these long things, instead of Joey just like taking long times to think, it's like him and Oscar arguing, and they're just constantly arguing about different things. I wish it was the case. So, I mean, really, there's not too much Joey can do here. He could maybe swing in if he really wanted to. Probably best not to. He could maybe null page that Lorite, but that's kind of useless. I'd rather keep the will up so he could play that Tengu. And he's got 2 null pages. That sucks. But I'd keep the will up to either Rune Story him or to Tengu him. I mean, he could potentially try swinging with 7 Disciples and hope Oscar tries blocking with Lorite, and in response he can Rune Story to make him banish it, and that, so the damage goes through. But looks like instead he's going to play Yokai Festival, where he gets to search his deck for Yokai with total cost X or less, and the X equals 3? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think 4. So 2 Yokai, total cost 4. Wait, did I? Hold on, did I read Yokai Festival wrong? Let's find out. You search your deck for 2 Yokai with total cost X or less and put them into the field, then shuffle your deck. Yeah, Joey played that wrong. He can only get 1 of those. Their total cost. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's like their total combined cost. If I'm wrong, though, that's a really good card. But also, am I miscounting how many stones he has? He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it would be a 4 cost. I'm super confused. Let me just... While I'm sure him and Oscar maybe are arguing as well. Let me just pull this up. Oh, okay, you pay 1 less to play the card. Okay, so the cost is correct. It's a matter of if it grabs 2 Tengu or just 1. So I guess 2 go into the field. Okay, maybe I'm just crazy. I apologize. Maybe I'm crazy. I always get confused with that type of wording and stuff like that, so we'll go into Oscar's turn. So that's quite a field to deal with. IU doesn't necessarily deal with the field, but she can just fly over it. And as long as he has removal, like Rival of the Hero or something like that in his hand, he should be golden as far as guaranteeing that damage to go through. But it won't be enough damage. He'd have to have resuscitating will as well in order to recover IU. And because he'd have to get up to 2,000 damage, so he'd have to discard several souls, which he discarded one, it looks like. He could possibly God's Art for the remaining cards he needs, because he needs a minimum of a rival hero and a resuscitating will. And another card, some other card to remove another blocker. But he might just take the opportunity just to kill the Tengu. Oh, when that's okay, so he's going to discard some more souls in order to kill that Tengu, I assume. But that seems like an excessive number of souls. Man, I really wish I knew what they were talking about. I mean, I definitely could find out what they were talking about by just unmuting this, but yeah. Okay, so the damage went through somehow. Did I miss something? I missed something somewhere of that damage going through. So he's going to resuscitate will, swing in again. How was Joey not able to block that? The Tengus had flying. Am I crazy? What the heck happened? What happened? Alright, somebody just let me know in the comments below what I missed. Or Oscar might pin a comment of what I missed. I'm super confused on what happened there because he blocked with flying and I didn't see anything happen. Unless, oh, did one of the souls maybe give it, well, even if you gain Pierce, that's not enough damage. I don't know. I'm so confuzzled. Hopefully Joey's side decks and is able to get rid of those null pages, though, because those are the most useless card in the entire world right now. But definitely got to keep the Lord and the Rune Story and the Fair Spell. So probably just get rid of that one card he's getting rid of. If he gets rid of the... he can maybe get rid of one of the Fair Spells, but that would be it. Because at least Rune Story has the potential to cancel stuff outside of Quick Cast. So that's why it'd be good to keep that around. However, you do got to make sure if you don't get into that Speaking Stone, then that's a dead card in your hand with Rune Story. So I could see him also maybe getting rid of that just to be safe. But if he wants to play super defensive, then just get rid of the Mimi tribe. And then just have a lot of counters to counter everything Oscar does. But it looks like he's getting rid of the Fair Spell. Okay, so he's definitely going more, probably slightly aggressive. Or attempting to get a better hand of what he wants. That turned out in his favor because he pulled a Rune Story anyway. And he pulled his 7 Disciples, which will pair with his Lorite this time. Fortunately, he pulled a Rune null page, but at least that's out of the way. And he got a Spirit Stone, so temporarily the Rune Story is useless. And he forgot to put his Rune deck out again. So he's got the Lorite and the Fair Spell that he could play right now. So hopefully one of those come in handy. Maybe Oscar tends to run Freyla inside of here, which is the 2-cost red card that when it enters the field, if there's no other resonators, then it gains swiftness and can swing in for 600, and then it can buff other things when it swings in future turns and give them swiftness, etc. So it can really be quite annoying. So Joey could get rid of that right off the bat with a Rune Story or something like that, but now he can't get rid of Rune Story, but he could at least Lorite at swiftness. But it looks like Oscar, yeah, Oscar drew into his Spirit Stone, which is not the best for his starting hand. So it looks like Joey's going ahead and trying to fix his hand. He's going to banish to draw 2 cards, play the card, bring 2 stones back out, and then he's probably going to just draw an extra card. Yeah. So he's got 2 Winds of Salvation, which removes a card from the game, so it gets around the pesky can't be cancelled in case Oscar is running any of those, which I don't think he is. Got another 7 Disciples, so once that Lord's on the field, those 7 Disciples will be kind of beastly. I mean, he really can only just pass turn now, though. And he could try playing Lorite, but best thing is to wait. Or not. Oh, and he's going to discard a card. Why would he... Did he play that before going to Oscar's turn? He did. Why, Joey? It's a quick cast card. You can wait through Oscar's turn and counter anything he plays. If there's nothing to counter, that at the end of Oscar's turn, you put it into your field. There's no reason to play that on your turn. There's zero reason. Joey's always getting on our case about... Joey. Yeah, especially quick cast cards like Lorite. If you want it on the field, that's fine. But there's no reason to play it on your turn. Just wait through your opponent's turn just in case. But now he's got a Speaking Stone, so now he can play those 2 rune stories he now has. But no reason to play it now when he's got 7 Disciples, gets all of its abilities, Swiftness, Flying, First Strike, Precision, Drain, and Barrier instantly. Oscar could potentially counter that if he has the correct card in hand. He could at minimum Lorite it, but it doesn't look like he's doing anything. It'd be cool if he had the Erendite Blade. But no, looks like it. He's swinging in for 900 now, and he'll gain 900 as well. So now it's going to be way harder for IU to win. IU, because it needs to swing in, like, do the whole combo like I assume happened last game. And so the longer it takes to do that, like the more life they have, the harder it is for IU to win, because it doesn't gain that much more than the 4,000 usually as far as damage. Alright, finally got that Possession Stone, so he's probably going to play some cards he's been holding on to for a while, like this blue card he's been able to play this whole time. So this one, non-water J Resonators lose and cannot gain Swiftness and Flying. So now his Lorite 7 Disciples loses its Flying, and when he plays the next one, it won't have Swiftness, and so that's going to be good. He's now slightly regretting getting rid of that null page, because the null page could get rid of that. Oh well. I don't think he has anything outside of null page that can really deal with that. Is that all Oscar's going to play this turn? If so, Oscar, you need to adjust something in your deck. Yeah, you need to adjust something. Oh, Jupiter. He didn't call a stone. Oh, Spider's Web. It does something. Put something from somewhere. Oh, okay. I think Oscar's doing this at... Okay. I'm confused on that interaction. Whatever just happened there. I think Oscar maybe did it at the end of his turn or something like that. And they just got confused. But there's that stone. The Magic Stone Tranquility. I really want to see him recover a ninja with that. That would be cool. So he's debating. The 7 Disciple isn't quite as enticing at this point in time, but it could still be a good play. At least it'll be their next turn to put in some damage, put in some work. But it also might be nice to have some open will to play a Rune Story and a Fair Spell or a Wind of Salvation. So basically outside of, unless Oscar Judgments, he'll be able to counter anything he does. Without a Lorite, there's not much he can do about Oscar's Judgment. Yep, so swinging in for that 9 and drain. Is it less than 9? Why did he only gain like 4 life? Or 3 life? Does Lightning Cave make it do less damage? I'm so confused. Joey keeps having more than 7 cards, so he got rid of one of those Winds of Salvation, which, I mean, obviously is a good thing to do. I would have gotten rid of one of the Rune Story instead, and also getting rid of that Winds of Salvation. I feel like tips off Oscar that he has another Winds of Salvation, because that's a good card to have against any deck, especially passing turn with that much open will. It tips Oscar off that he has that ready to go, so it's better just to Judgment than play anything, so which is what Oscar does. He's Judgmented. Going to search his deck for Soul now. since Joey cannot Lorite. And he's going to get Misty Dragon, which is just a good card to have in general, plus just a great soul to have for IU. And then I assume he's going to pass turn after that, since Oscar hates using all of his will. Go ahead and do anything before recovery, Joey? I don't know if there's much we can do. Outside of, yeah, he could deal 400 damage to target J/Resonator. He cannot attack or block until end of turn. So that's a good thing to play for before recovery at least. So he can swing in and get some free damage. And fortunately, he doesn't have that other 7 Disciple on the field. So it's not the maximum amount of damage he could have done this time around, since he passed with all that open will. But Okay. Oscar wanted to respond to that real quick, and he's going to fair spell it, which Joey can cancel. Or he fair spelled something, Joey, and then he's trying to miscalc. Why did they show miscalc? So fair spell. Swing in with Lorite, can't be blocked. And now Joey's drawing a card, maybe. And okay, now he's recovered. So I think Oscar just accidentally revealed the miscalc, maybe. And so they just fair spelled each other. So I still can't block this turn, is what that basically ended up being. Joe's probably hoping for a null page in there, but oh well. So swing in with 900 and drain. Unless Oscar miscalcs, which he's not, because it has barrier as well. Joey seems very, very, very upset right now. I don't know why he keeps looking at Rune Story, and it's really bothering me. So I don't know what Joey can do right now. So he's swinging in with that. Looks like Oscar already gained his life for him, and it was the full 9. So I don't know why Joey didn't gain the full 9 last time. But Oscar's down to 18, so he's in a little bit of a pickle. Especially Joey has 2 5-drops that are at quick cast that he can just plop on the field at any time. So now it's Oscar's turn. So Joey just is probably planning to do that no matter what Oscar does. He's going to plop one of the 5-drops down to block IU and see how that goes, essentially. So Oscar, you're just going to discard a soul to at least give it flying so that he doesn't have Lorite block it, and then swing in with IU. And see, even if Joey puts down a blocker, it'll die. However, even though the blocker will die, if it's Tengu or Jupiter, it'll force Joey to use a lot of souls, which are not the easiest to recover. So even just burning that resource is good at the end of the day. But he's swinging in, he discarded 2 souls, I believe, and he has 3 open will, is a good thing to keep in mind as well. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm dumb. Yeah, Joey has to take that damage because his resonators cannot gain flying. So any flyers he puts on the field cannot block it. So Oscar is buffing the crap out of it. So that's a total of 5 souls, I believe, if my count is right. So Joey's debating if he can do anything. Spoiler, he can't. So he's going to take a whopping, what is this, 20, 30 damage? Wowzers. If Oscar has the recover, oh, he's Godzarding. He's Godzarding probably for that resuscitating will. There it is. And he's going to play it to recover. But Joey does, in fact, have both Jupiter and he has Winds of Salvation to cancel that. So unless Oscar has a cancel, the best thing for Joey to do is the Winds of Salvation, so he still has 2 open will for Rune's Story in case Oscar is able to counter it in some fashion. Yep, there it is. Keeping the 2 Speaking Stones open for Rune's Story. And can Oscar do anything about that? If Oscar can't do anything about that, that's pretty much... it's not really game, actually, but it's really close to game. Really, really close. Judging by Oscar's not fast response, he only has 2 cards in hand. I'm going to assume that he does not have a counter to it, and he's just super, super sad right now. Yeah. Alright. Looks like that's good. That's canceled. And so Oscar's just going to play the chant that puts 2 souls from his graveyard back into his hand so that he at least has that both damage for next time and cushion in case Joey decides to YOLO it and swing into Ayu to try and kill her. Yeah, that's enough to buff her and make her survive. Nothing Joey can really play before recovery unless he has another quick cast rune, which I don't think he does. Yeah, he doesn't, so he's just going to draw and recover. And call a stone so that he can have plenty of... because all he has to do is survive next turn. He can't... Let's see here, 26 damage. I don't think Oscar has that. 1,000, and he has 2, maximum of 3 souls in his hand. So that's however much damage that is. That's not equaling to 26. So, oh, Joey's going to actually Judgment. So Resonators he controls gain 4/4. So that swinging with 7 Disciples also, I forgot, will give him Drain. So he's going to be nice and happy. That's pretty much game for this time because there's no way Oscar can get enough damage in to not only kill Joey but also wipe his field so that he himself does not die. Oh, it looks like he's actually lore writing. Oh, he's just going to put lore in to block it, I think. Looks like. They're talking about something, but yeah, Lard's going to block 7 Disciples and die, but he still gets that full, what is it, 10, 11, 12, 13, yeah. So he's back almost at 40 health. That's super depressing. He's going to swing in for 1. Is he going to do it? Swing in for 1, do it. Do it, you coward. Oh, wait, no. I'm sorry. Swing in for 5. I'm dumb. So he's not that cowardly. He doesn't have any open will, so whatever damage Ayu does next turn, he's just going to have to take it. But at 39 life, he's not too worried. Oscar's big swing was last turn. That's the maximum damage he could do. And without that resuscitating will going off, there's just, yeah, not a lot he can do at this point in time. His best bet was probably, honestly, just to have Ayu die so that he could flip over and search for another soul and possibly do some other stuff, because now swinging in doesn't help him outside of maybe trying to swing into something to kill it, and yeah. So we know for sure he has, out of 3 cards in his hand, 2 are soul. Last one's probably not a soul because he burned all his souls when he swung in. So we don't know what that last card is, and he's drawing a card for this turn. He got his Idol of Magic, so he can at least get some draw power when that goes to the graveyard. So he's probably going to do that just so he can draw some more cards and produce some will. Oh, he's going to filter the time will into it. I guess he can file. It doesn't matter what he filters into it, blue or time. To produce whatever color he wants and then hopefully banish it. If not, then you're silly, Oscar. Okay, cool, he did it. So what did he draw? Spoiler, he didn't draw anything that gave him 4,000 damage. Because I don't... Outside of Resuscitating Will, I don't think there's anything currently in New Frontiers that recovers your J-Ruler that I'm aware of. He banishes Spirit Magic Stone as well to draw another card. He's trying to dig for something. I think Oscar's just afraid to admit he lost this game. He's coming to grips with it right now. Which would be interesting because then that means this is a 3-round game. Okay. He's IU Sword Striking. Oh, okay. He got rid of Distortion of Time, which is unfortunate. Not that he could play it really, but now Joey's got the full 15 to swing in if he could get it through. He has Winds of Vitality, so like buffs J/Resonator. So if Oscar lets the Chamimi hit, then Joey wins. Lorite would swing in for 11, so not quite enough damage. But I'm trying to see. I don't think there's anything else Joey can do because that doesn't have swiftness and all that. So, I mean, you can get him real low unless he plays a rune from his rune deck. That would be the only thing. What was it? 4 damage to each resonator your opponent controls. That's useless. Elephant Rush, maybe. That's a 5-drop. But apparently Joey's not aware of Elephant Rush. Maybe? He's really trying to figure this out. Joey's also does not like accepting loss. Not that he's going to lose, but he hates when people like could have won a turn earlier and stuff like that. So he's probably just making sure. Yeah, honestly, I think I guess he could save Jupiter in case he wants to cancel something and keep the will open for Jupiter or Winds of Salvation. Wait, he doesn't have Winds of Salvation. Keep it open for... You know what? I would call Stone, honestly, with Chamimi. And then play Elephant Rush. And then have a will open to play Lorite or Winds of Vitality. But so he's just going to try and kill IU, which is not too big of a benefit. But it works. I personally would have called a Stone, Elephant Rush. You get some giant bodies on the field that Oscar straight up can't deal with. You'll take the hit next turn of IU swinging into your face, and then come to your turn and you just win. But he killed IU. Now IU can flip over and get another soul. And then IU just needs to survive another turn, and then maybe she would have a chance. Probably not considering what's in Joey's hand, but still. Only 4 up in will, so he can't play any of the 5-drop quick casts. So he's just playing the counter game unless he plays 7 Disciples, which would also be good. I can't go in going blazing this turn, but next turn, setting them up for next turn would be good. Yeah, there we go. And then he still has one open will to play the Lorite if needed. He can Lorite IU's enter so that Oscar literally gets no benefit out of IU dying. Yeah, so he's going to flip. He's going to be like, hey, my enter effect. And Joey's going to be like, wait. I'm going to look at your hand that's not revealed. It's very important to me. If he's looking at how many cards he has in the hand, it literally says it in that left side of Lackey, so I don't know what Joey's doing. Oh, Oscar only has 9 cards in his deck as well. Yes, that is IU. That's IU, Joey. Come on. Oh, Joey let it happen? He didn't Lorite it? What are you saving your Lorite for? Alright, it looks like they gave up anyways. Okay, so Joey won that one. 1, 2, 3, 4 souls. Oh, that's hilarious. Alright, so we're going into game 3. So hopefully they learn from their mistakes. Oh, and Joey learned from this mistake. He's putting his rune deck out at the beginning of the game. Yay, Joey! Sorry, I was on a snack break there. So yeah, he got rid of the high cost card, the Tengu. No page, obviously, because it's useless, even though would have been kind of helpful last game, at least for a minute. So he's still pulled into 2/5 cost, so that's unfortunate. And he's gonna get Look of Corruption, so Oscar is gonna get rid of that Lorite or Fair spell. So it's a pretty good hit for Look of Corruption, and also knowing that Joey has those 2/5 costs, so when you get to that later game, as long as Oscar remembers, he'll have a bit of advantage because he knows to keep his Fair spells and stuff open. Because Fair spelling well, you can't Fair spell Tengu, but Fair spelling Jupiter could potentially be very nice. Tengu, unfortunately, not much he could do about it, but I think he runs a Winds of Salvation in there, so he might want to dig for that. Oh, and also this is the first game that Joey is going second, and he has Energized, so... But yeah, looks like that Lorite is gone now. Hopefully Joey remembers to stop revealing his deck to Oscar. He does not remember. There he goes. He remembers after Oscar already saw. I don't know why Joey takes the long way of stopping to reveal and then re-reveal. You can just reveal it yourself and it overrides everything, but I digress. So obviously he's going to play the Fairy, most likely. I mean, I guess he could keep the Energizes up to do that, but yeah. There we go. So, at least Oscar opened Possession Stone this time, which is a lot better, and then he's got the Spirit Stone, which isn't the best, but at least it's something. You can manage to draw a card late game as well, and he's got Special Power Medicine, which is great for IU. Absolutely wonderful, so that's great. Alright, going into Joey's turn, so he's got another Fairy, so that's interesting. I don't even remember seeing those at all the past 2 games, so now he's gotten into 2 of them. He has 2 wills, so he can play the Ninja if he wants to on his opponent's turn, although the only thing that would do would be like... I mean, it actually would be good because he could play it and then produce a will to play Fair Spell if Oscar plays something. So he could still do that with the Energize if he so chose. And he's sworn in with the Fairy for 4 as well. So might as well just, take that damage down a little bit. So Oscar got another Possession Stone. Alright, things are looking up for Oscar. A lot better stones than last game, which I feel like is what hurt him a lot. He wasn't able to play the correct cards earlier on and had to sort of yellow it. Oh, and Beyond the Threshold of Time, so he gets to drop a stone into his field and draw a card. Nothing Oscar or Joey can do about that. Even if he had a rune story, he can't play it because he doesn't have the will. And also, Oscar has an open will. And now Oscar's going to glint of insight, and he already knows what's in Oscar's hand. So he's going to probably name Ferris Spell, and there's nothing Joey can do about it. Oh, he named Jupiter. I guess that's decent. You want to keep that big body out of the field. Ferris Spell would have been nice because then Joey can't counter anything you could do as far as quick spells, but it's not too big a deal, I suppose. Joey, why? You don't have to do that. You can just reveal to owner. Joey's annoying me now. Is he going to do something before recovery? There's nothing he can't do. He's got to draw a card. Oh, that's unfortunate. I don't like that cat. Just for the record, I don't think that cat's that great. But apparently Joey's got a thing for it, so, you know, all the power to him, but what are you going to do? But at least Joey can swing in for 8 damage this turn. Before recovery, he's going to... How did he play that? I must have missed something. Oh, there he goes. Okay, he just took a while to get rid of the energize. Terrible play, Joey. I disagree with that entirely. How is he swinging in with Ninja Cat? Does it have swiftness as well? Because he definitely played that after he drew another ninja. It's probably another gentleman's thing where he's like, I meant to do this before recovery. Or at the end of your turn. So I guess he's going to banish that to draw a card. And you're going to tap a will. Just so you can play that. It doesn't get the full value with 2 Spirit Magic Stones, but at least he's going to get that Spirit Magic Stone back and potentially draw another card. I don't know why he set that to the side. I assume draw a card. I forget what's in his graveyard if there's anything he wants to grab. I guess there's a Lorite to work with Lorite 7 Disciples, so he might want to grab that. Okay, so he's using the draw card effect. He's going to get that Lorite back and then put that... Oh, did he not use the Spirit Magic Stone? Oh, I see. He just drew a card and grabbed something from the graveyard instead of grabbing that Spirit Magic Stone again, so that works, I guess. Oscar's down to 22 health. He's still got 1 open will up. And Oscar conceded, looks like. Maybe? Assuming there wasn't some sort of glitch. Oh. Yep, it glitched. That's super unfortunate. That game was super interesting. I was invested in these anime characters. Let's see if they reconnect and do a 3rd game. So that's unfortunate. The game died on them. So we'll have to get them to do a 3rd game. Especially if you guys were interested to see how that ended up. Because it looked like that game was going really interesting so far. And I was curious who was going to win that best out of 3. So, like I said, I didn't watch it. So I didn't know that they disconnected at the end. So apologies for that. But based on their hands and stuff, let me know what who you guys thought was going to win. Which deck you thought was better constructed or better played. And yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think of this. And we'll see you guys next time.